What if the most boring-sounding engineering detail actually changes everything about how a car drives? Most people hear the word suspension and immediately tune out, thinking it does not matter much. But this time, tuning out would honestly be one of the biggest mistakes you could make here. Rivian just gave us our first real close look at the R2 suspension design, and it is fascinating. This is not one of those surface-level updates where you nod along and just scroll away quickly. This one actually tells you a lot about what kind of company Rivian is working hard to become. The suspension system is the engineering foundation that everything else on the vehicle gets mounted on top of. Think of it like the skeleton of the car, the base that holds absolutely everything together properly. If that foundation is done poorly, every single ride feels rough, unstable, and honestly just frustrating overall. But if it is done well, the car feels smooth, planted, and almost effortless to drive every day. There are many different techniques and design styles engineers can choose from when building a suspension system. Some are complex and expensive, some are simple and cheap, and some land somewhere right in the middle. The choices made here shape how the car handles bumps, corners, potholes, and everything the road throws at it. And for Rivian, this decision carries far more weight than it would for most other car companies today. Here is why that matters so much, and why you really should pay close attention to this detail. Rivian's current R1 lineup uses air suspension systems, and those systems are genuinely impressive in many ways. Air suspension is a big reason why the R1T and R1S are such incredible off-road vehicles today. They can raise and lower the ride height, adapt to terrain, and deliver a premium feel on any surface. But all of that capability comes with a very serious price tag attached to every single unit built. Air suspension systems are complex, they have more parts that can fail, and they cost significantly more to manufacture. That added cost gets passed directly onto the customer, which pushes the final purchase price higher and higher overall. And that right there is the exact problem Rivian is now trying very carefully to solve with the R2. The R2 is designed to be Rivian's high-volume, more affordable vehicle that finally brings the company to profitability. To do that, they need to cut costs in smart places without making the driving experience feel cheap or compromised. That is a genuinely difficult engineering challenge, and the suspension system sits right at the center of it all. So when the news came out that the R2 is using an independent multi-link rear suspension, it was exciting. That might not sound thrilling at first, but trust me, once you understand what it means, it absolutely is. Multi-link rear suspension is one of the most respected and proven suspension designs used in modern vehicles today. It uses multiple separate arms or links to connect each rear wheel to the car's body structure independently. Because each wheel moves on its own, bumps and imperfections on one side do not easily transfer to the other. This gives you a much smoother, more controlled ride quality compared to simpler and cheaper suspension designs out there. And on the front, Rivian is using McPherson struts, which is also a widely trusted and effective choice. McPherson struts are not the most exotic option available, but they are reliable, cost-effective, and very well proven. The interesting thing is that this combination, multi-link rear and McPherson front, is similar to other exciting electric vehicles. And that connection is part of why this news felt a little more personal and genuinely exciting than usual. Because there is real-world experience to draw from here, not just engineering theory written on a whiteboard somewhere. And when engineering theory meets actual real-world experience, it makes a far stronger and more convincing case overall. Now, if you want a benchmark for how good this suspension type can actually be in practice, look at the Tesla Model Y. The Model Y uses a multi-link independent rear suspension, and the results speak loudly and clearly for themselves. Anyone who has driven or reviewed the latest generation Model Y almost always comments on how smooth and graceful it feels. Going over large bumps, rough patches, and uneven road surfaces, the Model Y handles it all with surprising composure. It does not feel like you are fighting the road, it feels like the car is quietly absorbing everything for you. That is exactly the kind of driving experience that Rivian wants to bring to R2 customers at a more accessible price. But this is not just theory based on reading specs or watching other people drive from a safe distance. There is personal experience riding in a similar suspension setup on rough terrain, including going off-road and mounting curbs. And what stands out every single time is just how unexpectedly smooth the whole experience actually feels in real life. You are not bouncing around, you are not getting jarred. The car just absorbs everything quietly and keeps moving forward. And that is while simultaneously not being a complex, expensive, failure-prone system like the air suspension on the R1. That is the magic of getting this right, and it seems like Rivian has genuinely figured out how to do it. But there is more to this story, and this is honestly where it gets really interesting and worth paying close attention to. Because Rivian did not just decide to use a well-proven suspension layout and then call it a day. They actually went a step further and engineered something new and specific for the R2 that deserves real attention. They are calling it the Starfish, which is honestly such a perfectly fitting name that it almost feels too good. The Starfish is a forged aluminum rear knuckle that integrates all of the bushings for the 5 suspension linkages together. Instead of having 5 separate components each with their own individual bushing, it all comes together in one unified part. This is a smart move for several reasons, and the first one is the reduction of what engineers call unsprung mass. Unsprung mass refers to the weight of components that are not supported by the suspension, like wheels, brakes, and knuckles. The heavier these components are, the harder it is for the suspension to react quickly to bumps and road changes. By reducing that unsprung mass with a single forged aluminum piece, the suspension can respond faster and more accurately to the road. The result is a smoother, more precise ride that feels more connected and controlled in everyday driving situations on all surfaces. But beyond the ride quality benefit, there is also the manufacturing and reliability angle that makes this even more compelling overall. Combining 5 sets of bushings into a single integrated part means fewer components, fewer potential failure points, and simpler assembly. Fewer parts means less that can go wrong over time, which is a meaningful advantage when thinking about long-term ownership. And for a vehicle that Rivian hopes to sell in very high volumes, manufacturing simplicity is an enormous advantage to have. The R1 vehicles have had their share of reliability conversations, and air suspension complexity was often part of that discussion. Moving to this kind of streamlined, proven, simplified design is a clear signal that Rivian has learned from those experiences. It shows they are thinking not just about the launch moment, but about the entire ownership experience over many years. And the cost savings that come from this simpler, integrated design can be passed along to the customer meaningfully. This is how you build a more affordable vehicle without making people feel like they bought something cheaply made or rushed. You find the smart efficiencies, you engineer solutions that do more with less, and you keep the quality standards consistently high. That is exactly what the Starfish concept represents, and it is exactly why it deserves far more attention than it gets. Now, to really appreciate why this matters, it helps to look at what happens when a company makes different choices here. Not every automaker chooses the multi-link rear suspension, and that is a perfectly legitimate decision depending on the target market. Take the Slate truck as a comparison, because it is a fascinating contrast that helps frame the Rivian decision really well. The Slate truck is going after extreme affordability, and that is genuinely admirable and serves a very real market need. But to hit those aggressive price targets, they made the choice to use a dead-on rear suspension setup instead. A dead-on suspension is much simpler in design, with fewer separate linkages and a more connected rear-wheel relationship. That simplicity reduces manufacturing cost and complexity, which directly supports the affordability goal Slate has built their entire brand around. But it comes with real trade-offs, and the most noticeable one shows up on uneven or imperfect road surfaces. Because the 2 rear wheels are more connected to each other, a bump on one side affects the other more noticeably. If you hit a pothole or rough patch on one side, you feel more of that disturbance throughout the whole car. It does not ruin the experience, especially for the market Slate is targeting, but it is a noticeable difference in comfort. The Slate truck is not trying to be an adventure vehicle or an off-road performer, and that makes the choice sensible. Their goal is affordable, practical, no-frills transportation, and a simpler suspension system aligns perfectly with that brand identity. But Rivian is playing a completely different game with the R2, and that changes everything about what choices make sense. Rivian has built its entire identity around adventure, outdoor capability, and going places other vehicles simply cannot reach comfortably. The R1 vehicles earned that reputation through their performance, capability, and their highly effective but complex air suspension systems. The R2 needs to carry that same adventurous spirit forward, but at a price point that opens the brand to more people. So the suspension on the R2 is not just about ride quality on smooth city roads and comfortable highway cruising. It also needs to hold up on trails, handle rough terrain confidently, and absorb impacts from rocks and uneven ground. The independent multi-link rear gives it that capability, keeping each wheel working independently even on genuinely challenging off-road surfaces. And that is a very different demand than what the Slate truck is designed to meet, which explains the different choices. This is one of the most interesting things about the current electric vehicle landscape, and it is worth slowing down to appreciate. Every single vehicle is ultimately a series of engineering trade-offs, and there is no objectively perfect answer that works for everyone. Making the car smoother often means spending more money, raising the price, which affects who can actually afford to buy it. Making it better off-road sometimes means it is heavier or less efficient on the highway in everyday normal driving situations. Making it more spacious or practical inside can eat into battery space and reduce how far the car can travel. Every decision is connected to another decision, and the whole design is this constant negotiation between competing priorities and real constraints. That is what makes studying vehicle engineering so genuinely fascinating once you start paying close attention to all the details involved. There is no one product that is perfect for all people in all situations. And there never will be one. Different brands are making different bets about what their specific customers value most, and engineering relentlessly toward those priorities every day. Slate is betting that pure affordability wins, and they might be absolutely right for their specific target market and use case. Rivian is betting that you can be more affordable than the R1 while still delivering genuine quality and real capability. And looking at the R2's suspension choices, it seems like Rivian is making very smart, well-considered engineering bets right now. Now it is also worth stepping back and looking at Rivian as a company and where they are in their journey. Because understanding the business context makes the engineering choices feel even more significant and intentional than they might appear on the surface. The R1 vehicles have been impressive, but the road to profitability with those products has been long and genuinely expensive. The factory has not always been running at full capacity, partly because demand at that price point has been harder to sustain consistently. Building a premium expensive product and hoping enough people buy it is a strategy that carries real risks and real limitations. And Rivian is not the only company that has learned this lesson the hard way while trying to establish an EV brand. Other electric vehicle companies that launched with high-end, high-priced products found themselves burning through cash faster than demand could possibly justify. Having a great product is necessary, but pricing it where enough people can and will buy it is equally critical. That is the lesson the industry keeps learning over and over again, and it is one Rivian seems to be taking seriously. The R2 feels like the product where all of those early lessons finally get applied in a truly meaningful and strategic way. It is designed from the start to be high volume, meaning Rivian needs to build and sell a lot of them. High-volume manufacturing rewards simplicity and smart engineering choices that reduce cost without visibly reducing the quality customers actually experience. The Starfish knuckle, the multi-link rear, the McPherson front, all of these choices make sense for both driving and manufacturing. They are the kinds of decisions that look thoughtful and deliberate rather than rushed or driven purely by the need to cut costs quickly. And when customers eventually drive the R2, they should feel that thoughtfulness in how the car moves and responds to everything. A smooth, confident, capable ride is the payoff for all of these engineering decisions made long before anyone ever sees the car. And the early signs strongly suggest that the R2 is going to deliver exactly that kind of experience when it finally arrives. There is something genuinely reassuring about seeing consistent, smart engineering choices showing up in a vehicle still deep in development. When you see thoughtful decisions being made at this foundational level, It builds real confidence in the final product overall. It starts to feel less like luck and more like a company that has developed genuine expertise and is applying it carefully. Rivian has been learning, iterating, and refining their engineering approach since the R1 vehicles first hit the road years ago. And the R2's suspension design feels like the direct result of all of that accumulated learning being applied with greater precision. They are not just copying what everyone else is doing, but they are also not reinventing the wheel without good reason. They are taking proven engineering principles, applying smart innovations like the Starfish knuckle, and packaging it all cost-effectively and efficiently. That balance between innovation and pragmatism is actually very hard to get right, and not every automaker manages to find it. Some companies innovate too aggressively and end up with complex, expensive, unreliable systems that frustrate owners over time consistently. Other companies play it so safe that their vehicles feel generic and underdeveloped compared to what the best competition is offering. Rivian, at least with the R2's suspension system, appears to be landing right in that sweet spot between those extremes. It is proven enough to be reliable, innovative enough to be efficient, and capable enough to support the Rivian brand identity fully. When you add all of that together, you start to see why this suspension reveal is actually a really big deal. It is a signal, not just about the R2 specifically, but about the direction Rivian is heading as a whole company. This is a company that is maturing, learning from its past, and making smarter decisions about how to grow sustainably. The R2 is not just another product, it is the product that has the real potential to define what Rivian becomes. And if the suspension is any indication of the thought going into every other engineering decision, things look very promising overall. There is still a lot we do not know about the R2, and more details will continue coming out as development progresses. But each piece of information adds to a picture that is starting to look more and more encouraging with every reveal. The engineering foundation appears solid, and the philosophy behind each design choice seems sound and well considered at every level. What Rivian is trying to do with the R2 is genuinely difficult, but the early signs suggest they are pulling it off. Building a vehicle that is more affordable, more reliable, and still deeply capable is something most companies have not successfully managed. It requires real discipline, smart trade-offs, genuine engineering expertise, and a clear understanding of what your customer actually values in a vehicle. From everything shared so far, it looks like Rivian has all of those ingredients working together in a very promising direction. The R2 could be the vehicle that finally gives Rivian the high-volume success that the company has been working toward. Not necessarily from day one, because no new product launch is immediately profitable. That is just the honest reality of how this works. But over time, as production scales and manufacturing efficiencies improve, the R2 has the potential to become truly transformative for them, for the company, and for the broader EV market, which is still very much in a critical and defining period of growth. So keep watching, keep paying attention to the details, because the small engineering choices made today shape everything that comes tomorrow. The suspension might sound boring, but it is the foundation, and a strong foundation makes everything built on top of it better. And right now, from everything revealed so far, the R2's foundation looks very strong indeed. And that is worth being genuinely excited about.